Hi there, my name is Trey Goddard, and welcome to this particular cultural presentation on Cuba. The Sierra Maestra mountain range is the highest mountain range in the entirety of Cuba. Uh, this particular region is located in the southeastern portion of the island and is home to the Turqueno National Park, which seeks to protect the most well-preserved cloud forest in the entirety of the Caribbean. These particular cloud forests are home to some unique species, of flora and fauna, which are found nowhere else in the entire world, including a species of frog which was discovered in 1997, known by the scientific name of Eleutherodactylus. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it correctly. But beyond the environmental aspects of this particular forest are its long revolutionary history against colonialism, dating all the way back to the Tano people's resistance against Spanish conquistadors in the early 1500s, leading all the way to the 26th of July movement, spearheaded by the likes of Che Guevara and Fidel Castro against the US-appointed dictator Batista. Thus, this particular region is known to be the cradle, the birthplace of a truly free and independent Cuba. Moving on from natural to man-made wonders, the Hotel National de Cuba is the shining pinnacle of Cuba's capital city of Havana. This particular World Heritage Center and official national monument looks beautiful on the outside, just a few meters away from the ocean. However, what we don't see on the inside is a Hall of Fame dedicated with photographs dedicated to all the famous visitors of this particular hotel since its opening in the 1930s. Thus, such a long history embodies the cultural, massive cultural aspects of this of the capital city. Thus, it's often a popular location for many Latin American music and film festivals celebrating the arts and culture. And thus, this prestigious institution has received its fair share of awards, with 14 World Travel Awards as of 2018 alone. Christmas traditions in Cuba are slightly different. For example, presents are not typically given out during this time period. It's very much a communal holiday dedicated to the ones you love, not just close and distant family, but also friends, neighbors, coworkers, anyone who wants to participate can join in. As far as meals go, typical meal is a whole suckling pig prepared in what we can see there is a makeshift backyard barbecue. And this particular holiday is celebrated on what's called Noche Buena, which is Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is typically the day for celebration, whereas Christmas Day is the time of recovery. In the United States, however, it's sharply contrasted to this with, of course, an emphasis on presents, typically limited to close or distant family. Often meals will be comprised of a Christmas turkey or ham. And as far as when it's celebrated, it seems to be celebrated in late October. At this point, it gets earlier and earlier each year. Music genres in Cuba are somewhat different. The most popular music genre in Cuba is called son cubano, which roughly translates to the Cuban sound. It's given this distinction because it's considered to be one of the most uniquely Cuban genres in that it embodies the diversity and multiculturalism of the island. We see this incorporation of Spanish elements in the tres, or the Spanish guitar, as well as the incorporation of Central African Bantu elements with the bongos and the maracas. We also get this mixture of jazz and folkloric elements with the usage of piano, stand-up bass, and trumpet, whereas we also get these central Western African elements with things like the call and response, singing techniques, as well as rhythms which are only found in that particular region of the world. This, of course, is in sharp contrast to the United States, which the most popular genre is, at least by sales, hip hop, which is mostly comprised of poetic and rhythmic speaking over what are typically known as beats or produced melodies that are typically comprised of sampled music. Healthcare is incredibly important to the Cuban people and to the Cuban government. One of the many achievements of the revolution was the creation of a national healthcare service in the 60s, which sought to provide all Cuban citizens with accessible and free healthcare, and it has greatly succeeded in this regard. Its preventative healthcare system is considered to be a human right, which has resulted in much better outcomes for its particular citizens than similar and similar nations in similar financial circumstances. This, of course, is juxtaposed to the United States. Despite being a much wealthier nation, it has not affirmed healthcare as a human right to its citizens and is often inaccessible due to its sheer expense, which has, of course, resulted in lower healthcare outcomes for women, for particularly women and people of color. And in this regard, Cuba's healthcare system serves as a shining model for the rest of the world. And without further ado, that thus concludes my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment, and goodbye.